Alright guys, we're out here in my backyard today. I've had a couple of requests for how to tape your stick or asking me how I tape up my goalie stick. I've got my ultrasonic here that I've been using the past couple of weeks, and I got a new one in the mail the other day, so I've got a little bit of taping to do. All you need, some good scissors, don't have bad ones because it just kind of wrecks the end of your tape job, and some tape, and a can-do attitude. And a special shout out to Otto for requesting this video. Alrighty, so first thing is you'll be taking tape off your old stick. So let's start here. If it's really gnarled up, you can usually just kind of pull it off because it'll be all worn down there. But if you replace it every couple of weeks, then you just rip it off. I don't know if you saw at the start of this, but I had most of the puck marks were around here on my stick. I usually direct pucks around the heel of my stick rather than like up on the toe. So most of the action of like actually deflecting pucks with my stick happens from about this point onwards. I have been thinking about potentially shortening up my tape job, so I just get a little bit, they're held up a little bit less on the tape because I just want them to be able to slide off my heel as quickly as they can so they keep that velocity and head out of the zone. So that's what we're going to go with today. I'm actually going to shorten up my tape job from what I'm used to doing. I did used to use wax on my stick blade, but I don't know why I did that. I think I just did it because it was like, I felt like it was something I could do, so I just did it. I didn't really find any difference playing the puck or directing rebounds or anything. I think the only thing that it was good for was if I had it up here so I could like pick the puck up and like Michigan it. So I think about when I start what way I want to be going as far as when I'm crossing over the back, do I want it to go that way or do I want it to go like that way? So I get that first one nice and straight across there. You can see that I've just got the top of the tape just like on the top lip, and I want to try and fit the next roll of tape halfway across that one. So you can see here, if I go there, and I go straight down, I end up with the next roll that I've just put on there is half on that roll, and then it's half on its own bit there. And then on the back here, I'll pull it back over to hit it halfway again, so I'll have the grade of it going down that way, but it still looks fairly straight. I don't think it really matters. Like, I do backhand a lot actually with my goalie stick, but I've never noticed there being any difference between if it's going diagonally from the top towards the heel or diagonally towards the tip of the blade. From top to bottom, I've never noticed a difference. I don't think there would actually be any difference whatsoever. I want to try and get it back on so it meets in with that last one, and then when I go down again, I'm again just covering 50%. So then I end up with a double layer of tape there, but it's half of it's from the last one and half of it's from the one that I've just put on. So then I've still got like a 2 layer on there, and it's nice and straight up and down. I don't know if it actually impacts anything to do with puck management. I dare say it absolutely doesn't. That's how I like it to look, I guess. It's just kind of how I've been doing it. So this isn't actually being put on at all for directing the puck when I'm making a stick save. As I said before, I'm wanting the pucks to be pretty much hitting the heel of my stick because I feel like I can direct them a little bit better. Another big one about getting a nice clean tape job is pulling the tape before you put it down. So when I'm doing this, I'm usually holding the tape with my left hand, pulling it, meeting, and then flipping it over, placing it down, pull it again, meet it, put it down. So that's how I go. I feel like it's a pretty quick way. It gets a pretty consistent result every time. I'm a little bit of a stickler with it. If it's a bit too out of sorts, I'll pull all the tape off and start again. It's definitely not like a superstition-y kind of thing or anything. I very much kind of stay away from thinking about stuff like superstitions. For my game, the way I play, my mindset and everything going into games, I'm controlling what I do and I'm controlling the outcome. All right, so now we've gotten to the end. This gets a bit tricky here. What I do when I get to the end, I'm usually standing up, so it's a little bit funny here, but what I do when I get to the end I make sure I'm kind of flattening off the back here. Doesn't matter if I don't really care if it gets a little bit of a kink in it. Hold that edge out so I still get a kind of clean square, you know, fold there. I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'll hold the top, square the fold so it's almost like it's still catching if there was more stick there. So back up to the top, give myself a little bit more room. Again, square it out so then it's coming down straight. So if you don't pull it and square it out, it'll come down on a really bad angle, and it just won't look, it won't match up very well. All right, flatten it off at the back again, and then I'll pull it up so it completely covers the toe. That last one isn't as important because we're already over the toe. It doesn't really matter what that end bit's like. So I've made sure that I've got 2 layers. Cool. And then I got enough here at the end. This little bit that I've pulled out as well, just to put it down. And then I can just kind of pinch it up. So I've got 2 bits of tape down the entirety of the blade, all the way to the end, and I've pinched it over the end. So you can see there I've got it pinched over that side and over that side. You can see I've got it pinched over the front there and over the back with 2 layers all the way through to the end. Alright, this is where we get our scissors. And for kids, you don't want big sharp scissors like this knocking around in your bag, so get mum or dad to carry some of these, or ask the trainer or your coach if you can borrow them, or just do it at home and get mum or dad to help you out with taping your stick. So once it's there, I'm coming in, I'm just pulling it, and I'm trying to get a single cut all the way down the blade, the edge of the blade there. So that's the bit that was on the end there, just you know, overlapping. And you'll see I've ended up with, because I pinched those 2 bits of tape together, it's come and it's rounded out over the top of the blade there. As I've cut, it's like pinched it together. I've got a little bit of a fold there and a fold there, but like I said, I don't get too worried about that. You know, I don't have enough tape to worry about it. All this is about is making sure I'm getting grip on the puck as it's coming off my toe as I'm passing it. Now I'm going to do this second one, and I'm just going to smash it out. Yeah, you know what, that's close enough, pretty close. Okay, so you'll see on this stick that I've been using, I don't have anything on the hand, and I don't have a butt end either, like a real butt end. But honestly, that's not usually how I go. I actually had to get this stick taped up really, really fast when I was getting on the ice when I first got it. So I'm actually gonna do up what I'd usually have. Not really for a grip reason, but it's almost the opposite. It's because I feel like sometimes the materials on the sticks, like the special grip material and stuff, can be a little bit too grippy, and I can have trouble sliding the stick out of my blocker when I'm going to poke check, or when I'm you know, need to play the puck really quickly. So I actually like to have the tape there, just to have the ease of, I know exactly what it's going to feel like, and I know that when I throw it out of my blocker and out of the palm of my blocker, it's gonna come out, and it's not going to kind of get caught up on any of that kind of sticky material. And these are just stock sticks as well. If I was able to get custom sticks and stuff, it might be a bit different. I pretty much do it exactly the same, pattern, exactly the same way, and I just cross it over at the back. So then at the front, it's nice and straight. Put one more around the top, just to kind of seal it off. And then I'll let it go there on the back. So now I've got that. my grip. It might look a little bit high, but it actually, for like the palm, the back of the palm, that's gonna be hitting there. So that's how I do it. I do like the grippiness of the ultrasonics on there, on the finger, because then I feel like it grips and I can control the stick a bit better. I'm probably a guy that would appreciate a trigger grip, like a cut trigger grip, but like I said, I just get stock sticks. I don't want to take a hacksaw to these. These things are far too rare in Australia for me to go chop them up. Pull that. All right, there's my grips done. Both of them are pretty much exactly the same. Stick grip's done, blades, and now we're just gonna have a look at the butt ends. All right, so this one is pretty gross. I think I never used thick tape. I think this might have just been, we might have been out of thin tape, and that's why I did it like this. And I think that's why I just did a bit of a rush job on it as well. All right, so usually I'll do pretty much a copy of what's on the grip, on the hand. I've got pretty much exactly the same thing on here, except first of all, I do put a little bit of tape over the actual butt end plug. I just feel like the sticks are so loud when the butt end plug's out of them. And I also, if I'm having trouble with the pegs coming out of the net, I sometimes use the end, like the butt end, as a little bit of a hammer. To like hit the top of the post to drill the pegs down into the ice if they're coming off. If you don't have the actual butt end plug still in there, it just fractures all the carbon fiber and just ruins it. All right, so we're gonna do pretty much the same thing again. Around the top once, and then we're gonna go down half, and you should know the drill by now. These ones, it's a little bit harder to not have a fold in the tape at the back, just because you're having to make up the same distance as you are on the blade, so like half the width of the tape, but you've got to do it in like a quarter of the actual distance as what's on the blade. So if you do end up with it, you know, that's just the way it is. So that's what I think anyway. One, and I have to do these back to back because we're going to use the rest of this tape for the actual butt end. Bingo bango. Double check to make sure I've got that right. You beauty. Spot on. Now probably what I think is the most important part of taping my stick is having a good butt end. So when I'm throwing my stick out for a poke check, or when I'm going to play, my stick won't come out of my hands. And as well, if I've got it out and it's getting pulled away like it's caught up in somebody's equipment, I've got something there that I can kind of leverage a little bit more to get my stick back. So you never want to lose your stick when you're in net, ever, 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 ever. It's really bad. So you want to rip the tape in half like that, put one side back down, and then we're only going to pull tape from this side when we're making up this butt end. We'll probably use half of the roll for each butt end. And I don't cut down my stick either. I do like to have quite a long stick for when I'm stick handling and stuff like that. I did used to cut it down a bit. I just play the puck a bit better when the stick's a bit longer. So, you know, I stopped doing that. So all I'm doing is ripping it out, and I've got the non-ripped side up and the ripped side down. I'm just gonna do laps of the top of my stick here. It kind of doesn't matter too much if it goes a little bit wobbly. It will end up kind of fixing itself in the end, because we are going to put on an absolute ton of tape here, because this takes quite a while to get to be big enough to be useful for us. So I want to try and keep that clean edge not too far over the top of where the plug is, like the actual end of the stick. We don't want to end up having it hanging over it too much. We want it to be right on the top of it there. What I do to try and do that is I don't look at the top. I look at where that raggedy edge is, and I try and keep it on there, because we know the first one that we put on there was in the right spot. So I just kind of focus on that and keep twirling it around here. And this does take a little bit of time, because we're going to put quite a bit of tape on here. Okay, I think that'll probably do the job there. So we'll just rip that. And I just kind of squish it a little bit, make sure it's nice and all stuck together. It's nice and adhered to itself. Awesome. So then you can see there how much my hand's around. It's pretty much over the end of my fingers. If I throw this out, then there's no way that can come out through my grip. So if I'm throwing this out, there's no way that's coming out. No way my hand's going to come over that when it hits there. And that's all we need to do. So that's how I tape up my stick. I've got this one all ready for training, and I've got my game stick all ready for when we start playing on the 14th of May. Thanks very much to Bauer and Skaters Network for hooking me up with the twigs this year. I really appreciate it. I use a Bauer Ultrasonic 25-inch. I absolutely love these sticks. If you've ever used the 2S sticks, they're just like that. They're super, super, super light. It's got a really great curve as well. I feel like I can get a lot more out of my passes, and especially lifting the puck when I'm trying to, get it out to the boards, get it out off the glass. I really enjoyed using this stick. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you do want to see anything else as far as like my routines or how I get my gear ready, make sure you leave it down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.